Welcome everyone, this is Jim again. I'm gonna tackle episode 3 today. Today we are going to battle our rival. I'll show you the updates I made to my roster and just kind of explain very briefly how I got there. And then we'll head into the forest. We're gonna catch that guy, little Pikachu. So, as you can see, I put a little bit of time on here. What I did is I did exactly what I told you what you should do, and that's level up your Pokemon. Try to do it evenly, okay? See, Charmander's still at the bottom. I barely used him at all just to be able to kind of knock out somebody when my lead Pokemon was low on health and I didn't have any other good options to swap in. So it's leaving me with a bunch of level 6 and a couple level 7 Pokemon. The reason I leveled up the Nidorans to level 7 is these guys are far weaker than I remembered them being. So going into this next battle, I want to be able to make them at least halfway effective. So obviously, if you are in any way nervous or apprehensive about going into this next battle without having your Pokemon sufficiently leveled up, just spend a little more time there. At level 6 and level 7, all of your Pokemon can now handle several fights on their own, usually enough to get them at least past the level that they're currently at. So I'm gonna show you what I mean when you head this far, a little bit too far to the left. And just in case, we're gonna go ahead and save it first. I would always recommend saving before you go into a major battle. The worst thing that can happen is you go into a major battle and you faint, you lose, all your Pokemon are knocked out because you're going to lose half your money. So do everything you can to prevent that from happening. Save before major battles, stock up on supplies when you need to, and just be prepared. Here's good old Gary. So as you guys know, most of you guys will probably know if you've played this game before, the direction that we're headed is actually to the Pokemon League, but you don't have enough badges to get through, and so you can easily pass up this fight and not know that it's there, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure I showed this, because the last thing that you want to do is skip out on money and experience that are going to be real good to use. So you are just going to be able to count on losing at least half or more of your Pokemon throughout this fight. Okay, what I have found is that Spearow is my best attacker next to your starter. So I want to save Spearow. Spearow's going to be that guy who's going to come in and kind of save us and get some quick attacks in. Nidorans, these are just, they're space wasters. You throw them in there to try to whittle some of their health down. Hope they stall long enough for you to get it down to a decent amount, and you throw in some of your other guys to take it out. You cannot use Charmander on your final fight. So what I'll probably, or the next, I shouldn't say final fight, I should say the next Pokemon. That's his starter, which at this point knows a water technique, which Charmander will be weak to. So I am going to start the fight out with Nidoran, let Nidoran get knocked out, then throw in Charmander, let Charmander finish that out, and then from there I'm going to swap out and I'm going to just let the rest of the 4 take care of Squirtle, which will be at, I think, level 9. So, and then this can be a pain in the butt too. I wouldn't really worry about the sand attack and what it does to you so much, especially if he's not attacking you yet. Your decisions are mostly going to be based on your health, not the other little attacks that he's doing like this. Okay, so it's quite possible, and I just missed one, but I just hit 2 times after he did a sand attack. So now that he's attacking me, I'll probably swap out. Maybe try one more time. Again, as long as your health is good enough to withstand an attack, keep your Pokemon in, keep fighting. There's always a chance you'll hit. At this point, there's going to be low chance that I'm going to hit. So what I'll do here, I'll throw in Charmander. Charmander will be able to finish off Pidgey pretty quickly. Okay, see, I whittled Pidgey's health down to a little bit less than half. Shouldn't be any any kind of a big deal for Charmander. I'm going to throw in an Ember. That should, if not close to it, okay, close to knocking out one more will do it. And then I'm not going to let Charmander stick in with Squirtle. Charmander is my absolute last backup. If I need to, I'll heal him up and then throw him in. But if we're throwing Charmander back into the mix here, this is not a good deal. Yes, I will change, and I'm going to put Nidoran back in. And pretty much I am just going to throw my Pokemon in and let them get knocked out by Squirtle. And then the lucky one that's able to survive here will be able to get the experience from knocking out Squirtle. This is what I mean. There's very little damage going to be done by me at this point from any of these Pokemon. Point is just get them in there, do whatever they can to take down whatever health they can. That's why you have a full roster of 6, all at decent levels. It took me roughly about 40 minutes of walking through the grass on the south end of town to get my Pokemon to this level from the point that we last left off at the end of episode 2. So just be prepared. You're going to spend some time walking around in fields leveling up your Pokemon. It's completely normal. It's going to be a little bit tedious sometimes. You're going to be like, man, I'd like to move on to something more interesting. But taking the time, 20-30 minutes, between patches of grass to level up your Pokemon and get them to that next spot is definitely going to be worth it. That and the amount of space that there is per level between when levels start maxing out to the point where your Pokemon becomes unruly and doesn't listen to you, it's hard to really get there unless you are just doing like that silly thing that the guy I told you about did, and that's put his starter at the top and never rotate him around. It's hard to get past that level where they're not listening to you unless you're doing something silly like that. Spend 20-30 minutes at a time leveling up your Pokemon in each new field or section that you get to, and let that really kind of drive the health of your group. So Nidoran learned Horn Attack, which is great. I will cash the boot. So we're going to go back and heal our Pokemon, and then we're going to go head north. Okay, again, we will rotate Nidoran out of the top spot. You've got a few Pokeballs left. We'll use that to our advantage. Walk around here till we run into something. See what's around here. Now we'll give it one more Pokemon and then we're going to move on and not trying to waste our time where there's no Pokemon to be worried about. Plus again, these little pit stops are good for your party, level your guys up, give them that experience. Here we go. Weedle. Now, here is at the point where I am going to bring back in Nidoran. Now, the reason that was kind of tough using Nidoran, either of them, is that their attacks were pretty low, which is a bummer. However, that's a benefit in this case because now that our party's starting to get a little bit higher level, we want to be able to hit this guy without knocking him out. So see, his attack is pretty weak. That's fine. 2 tackles, and I'm going to throw a Pokeball and catch this bad boy. Boom. Okay, and now we get our first experience with getting into the PC. Now, what I am going to suggest is to take a few minutes at this point to rename some of your boxes to get organized. You're going to get to a point where you are going to need to know where your Pokemon are at, and just know how to best keep things organized so that way you're able to do your best job going forward, knowing where you need to put them, who needs to be leveled up, who needs a stone, who's finished. And so we're going to go over here and we will start that process to show you how it's done and let you do that on your own time. But I would definitely recommend taking a few minutes and going through this. So, we're in box number 1. So what I would always suggest is that you keep some kind of system. In gold, silver, you're able to name the boxes. You can't do that in this one. But what I would suggest rather is that you do you use these boxes to your best advantage here. So we got Weedle in the top. Your box number 1 should always be the box where you're throwing in your caught Pokemon. You never want to have it filled up. So what you want to do is continue to, like I said, have a system. Maybe that means you're writing things down. Maybe it means that you are just kind of keeping a mental track of where things are. But you've got plenty of boxes for the number of Pokemon that you need to catch. You're going to catch 151 Pokemon. Half of them are going to have 2 or 3 stages to them. You've got enough space for 240 Pokemon, so there's plenty of space to be able to store everything that you need to. So now what I'm going to do is I do not want to carry around Weedle just yet. Weedle is pretty weak, and there's nothing really to keeping Weedle around. So the Pokemon that I have, I think, are a better set at this point, and we are going to just go ahead and get started into the forest, which we will start at the next episode, because we're going to finish things up here today. Next episode, we will be catching Pikachu, and we will be checking out all the different Pokemon that are in here. Just make sure that when you go in here, you've got enough Pokeballs. Now, I didn't go back and buy a few more. You're probably going to catch at least, I would say, 3 to 4 Pokemon in this particular area. So you want to have at least, I would say, 4 as you're going in there. A couple potions. There's going to be some trainers. Great place to level up your lower leveled Pokemon. But you're also in a place where, you know what, you don't have a whole lot of things that are going to keep you from getting back into town. So if you decide that you can't make it out far enough to get to the other side, no big deal. The bug Pokemon here are not that strong. You can just head right back. And I would always just keep that that Charmander, like in our case, keep Charmander at the back of your roster. Keep him healthy, and he is your exit strategy. If you need to get out, just put him up front. He's got that fire move. He'll be faster than everything else that you got, and he can get you back to the entrance so you can go hit that Poke Center and then get back up in here and finish things up. So, all right, guys, that's all for today. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Comment below, share it with friends and family so that way people know about it, and get engaged. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Tell me any suggestions that you have for the game, for the show. Right now, the first noticeable change here is the music. I'm playing that because somebody gave me some feedback, said that they thought that would be better. I think it's a great idea. If it's something that I'm not thinking about, something you'd want me to see, then let me know. All right, guys, take care.